I don't know if it's actually working on. No. I don't even do that. Let's see. Yeah, it's working. Cool. Theoretically, at least. All right. Well. Okay. Well, let's see. Let's move this. I can get started. All right. Okie dokie. Open it. Ooh. All right. Well, transition is over here. There we go. We'll see. Reference. Everything down. Something. All right. Let's see. So I've got that set up. All right. So right here, that's my line, and we are going to walk the pixels on that. So and we'll walk the pixel on that. 5 is 1. Hold off on that. Okay, so what I need to do is go in and fix all the like overlap and stuff like that. Let's just go ahead and start at the bottom. And let's see what's. I think that's pretty good. probably once I change the line art color, we'll have some purple to clean up, but as of right now, it's not too bad. Okie dokie. So if anyone has any questions or requests or anything like that, feel free. Didn't even do that part. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, let's fix. All right. But I am working on my original character here. Going through and doing the black colors right now. Finishing up the flat colors, and then we'll move on to shadows and highlights and whatnot. So we should be knocking everything out today as far as rendering goes, which is cool. Oh, hey, how's it going? Yeah, no, this is my original character. Their name is Yuya. One of my first original characters, I think. Definitely one of the first few, for sure. With a Y. 2 Y's, I guess. Yuya. Yeah. And I did a really, really rushed kind of job with the black color last time because I was trying to kind of just squeeze in a live stream before I had to do other stuff instead of just not going live at all. So that's why it's a little messy. Messier than usual, I guess. It's always kind of messy, but that's something that'll also change when I change the line art color. We'll see a lot more of those little artifacts, I guess is what you would call them. But we're not quite there yet. Shrink this down so. To keep going back and forth on the gray and the light gray here. Actually, that part is a different color altogether. We'll just do that. I mean, I don't have anything specific. I guess like you could see there's some inspiration from stuff, but I mean it's really just kind of hodgepodge of things that I liked, I guess, at the time. But I've always been a big fan of anime, so they're definitely inspired by elements of certain characters and stuff. I just don't remember. It's been so long. I created this character, I mean, when I was in high school. Yeah. I just kind of threw everything together and was like, this looks cool. He's evolved a little bit over time, but yeah, for the most part, it's still pretty close to the same as he was. The biggest change really was the scythe here. It used to be like a skull. I don't have a ton. I might have more than a handful, but I don't have a ton of them. Here's like the main one. Like that I started with. So Yuya, Takashi, Soul, Mal, and good lord, I don't remember his name off the top of my head. It's been a minute. I don't really draw him too much. I'm more in this 4 is kind of my wheelhouse. Yeah. I mean, I still really like this character too, but they all... I think it's probably 1, 2... these are kind of like 3, 4. They could probably switch back and forth a little bit, and he's like kind of the last one. But I mean, I like them all. And I also have some other ones that are more based off of D&D characters that I would like to play someday. So I have those that are kind of like a separate OC pool. Yeah, no, 2's it's a lot. It's hard to like give them all the time that they all deserve when you get a little too deep into it. I will say that it is not easy to show them all love. Let's grab that. Yeah, there's a lot of little artifacts that I'm gonna have to clean up here for sure. Yeah, D&D. I'm a big fan. Oops, that is... I did switch that color. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I need to clean that up. There's all kinds of little bits I need to... Yeah, I haven't played in a very long time. Okay, so that's not even on that layer. That's interesting. Oh, that has to be on that. Okay, I know why. It's on this layer. Okay, so back to lines. Let's go back down, because I know there was one little spot down here that needed attention as well. Somewhere. There it is. I think that's it for right now. I've seen, but yeah, I mean, I played a little bit of Baldur's Gate 3. I just haven't gotten around to like really playing it. think I was on like the first mission. Like outside of the initial like learn how to do everything stuff. Okay, I think we're all right now. Yeah, I get my fix by watching Critical Role and like D&D actual plays. That's kind of where I get all my D&D these days. But I would definitely like to get back into it at some point. Light gray. Probably not light enough there. Yeah, it's better. But yeah, I'm one of those people who really likes to like set characters up to play them in the future. So I have like my D&D Beyond is full of character ideas that are just stacked up. Okay, I think I have like 20 different things that I want to play, which is pretty common, I feel like, but I might have a couple more than like the average person. Okay, that's all kind of set now, so let's move over here. Thank you very much. Thanks for hanging out for a second. Chatting. Always appreciate it. I hope you have a great day. All right. Yeah, we're just going through and fixing all the bad spots here that are overlap and whatnot. Just going in and fixing that, then we'll start working on the shadows and highlights and all that fun stuff. But yeah, once I finish my flat colors, I will go in and change the line art color. We'll clean up any artifacts that I see, and then from there we will work on the shadows and highlights and all that. I like to work on separate layers for my color, shadows, and highlights. That way I can make adjustments, figure out which layer attribute works the best, I guess. I don't know what you call those off the top of my head, but yeah, I like to play with it a little bit, see what's working and what's not, because there's always something that's different every time, pretty much. So this one. It's a little more difficult to clean stuff up when the lines are so thin. But you can zoom in and make the brush smaller and all that fun stuff too. Fun part about digital work. And you could always undo, which is another part I like about it. Very forgiving. All right, that's almost done. Okay, I think we're good there. That's fine. Whoop. Come out. There we go. Okay. That's all cleaned up. We do need to come in here. This real quick. And do the belts. That might be a little artifact. All right, so let's grab this color here. Bump that back up. Okay. How do I feel about that? I don't think so. It should be. Actually, it should be the opposite. This. Okay, let's do. Boom. Wow, hit that. Okay. That should be good enough. And then here. Hit that. There we go. I think that. Yeah. That's more kind of where that should be. Belts are a little bit more vibrant of a brown, and then the staff part of the scythe is more of an ashy, darker brown. All right. that. Get that. Get goal. Okay. Yeah, it's not bad. Do need that. Grab that color. Quick. That down a smidge. A little bit of a three-dimensional look to it. Don't get too crazy with it. Yeah, let's undo. Let's go. Cool. I think that will work. Alright, so now it's time to change the color outlines. Bump the brush up. Bam. One of the things I really like about Clip Studio Paint. Locking the pixels. You can just hammer everything without having to worry about it. Or having to change the color on a layer or whatever, which you can also do, I think. Thank you, appreciate that. We are just going through, fixing the line art color. And you'll notice that the tattoo and the scars are not changing color for the line art, and that's because those are on separate layers so that I can make them a cool color. Alright, so let's grab that and a little darker. Tattoo. Look at that. I mean, yeah, a little bit. When I first designed the character, he had a different kind of scythe setup. But yes, it is like a living thing. It's his familiar, but it's not a person. It's a raven that can like change shape and size and stuff like that, and that is why it's got this part down here, because this is the beak, that's a big eye, and that's a wing. But yeah, no, it's definitely, that's one of the things that inspired the update to the design for sure. No offense taken at all. I'm actually going to leave the purple for the tattoo because it is purple. Looks a little too dead. Here? Oh. Getting somewhere in the ballpark, I think. just match the color of the scars. Maybe that not. It is on this there. Okay. Oh, that's for the tattoo color. Yeah. No. Darker than that. There we go. I think that's better. Oh, yeah, we need to fix that. I always miss some little piece, at least, when I do the line art change. Looks like that might be the only piece, which is kind of crazy because that never happened. Alright, so this. Oh, yeah, let's separate the tattoo from the scarf here because I do want to change that. Good. Okay, so do this. Put that down a little bit. Paste. Do those on two separate layers. Okay, there we go. So that I can adjust the transparency. Because I do want them to, like, that's the point of the tattoo, is to make it look like it's actually in the skin. So I adjust the tattoo color. If I just put it all together, we'll just put it all together. We'll merge those two layers together in a second here. Fill this in a little bit better and pull back some of that. And outside, make sure it's filled in. Maybe I need to clean up a bit of this here. Go here. And no, okay. Okay, those are not that. No, really? Okay. Well, okay. Well, let's clean up the overspray situation. And we'll smash it together and change the transparency. Yeah. Okey-dokey. That's in there. Cool. I think we're pretty well cleaned up. So merge these two layers. Drop that 5%, maybe. That kind of gives it more of a in the skin kind of look. Okay. Alright, so all of that is pretty good. Let's go back to line real quick. Okay. Yeah, up then. They missed a little line through there. I guess that happens every time. Clean this a little bit up. Spot we missed, I guess. Spot there. Definitely clean this up. Right. Cool. All right. Let's go. Whoops. That color real quick. That up. Cool. With that, let's go here with this color. Okay, so that's just this scar showing through. And that too. Okay, so let's go here. Erase those. Okay. Right. This needs to go. I don't know what. Okay, that is on this here. Erase that. There we go. Okay, so I think got everything kind of set. So now we're going to start working on the shadow. Let's duplicate this layer and up here, line art, and delete what's actually on it. I just duplicated the layer so that I have the mask. Don't have to worry about that. I like to have, I like to use purple for my shadows just because it's fun. I like it. And I do really rough paths, similar to kind of how I do a rough pass on my black colors. This time it was a really rough pass on my flat colors, but still kind of similar situation. And I'm just not putting in toes because I don't want to. Just how it's gonna be. But yeah, I'll do a rough pass and then I'll go back and kind of clean everything up. That's how I like to work on this. Something like that. It gets a little funky with there. Let's back that up. Get a little bit more in depth with stuff. In a minute. Okay. We need to drop the size of this actually. Get in here. I'm going to kind of go in and clean things up a little bit, add a little bit more tail bits. Go ahead and throw this shadow. And for anyone watching, again, feel free to ask questions or anything like that. More than happy to answer questions about my process or my character or in general. Put that all in shadow except for that top bit. Probably peeking out. That's weird. Go ahead and throw that all in shadow. That where that kind of breaks. A small, oops, a line right there. And round. Boop. Cool. All right. Kind of give this a little bit more there, and then a little on the edge, underneath, edge again. Added a bit much. That up. This part here would be throwing a little bit of shadow. So yeah, we're just going in and kind of making adjustments to the shadow. Going like that. There we go. We can even just kind of hit that like that. Draw like a small line showing that this has some thickness and weight to it. We should put it right there, but we'll go. All right, so we've got that. Oh, yeah. That. Go. Okay. That. There we go. That little bit there. Going to have a little bit weight to them. Well, there we go. Okay. Cool. All right, let's bump the size back up a smidge. Let's go ahead and raise this bit, I think. Again, definitely gonna adjust that. Over here. Let's shrink this back down to like a 10. There. And on this side. Bottom. Okie dokie. Do that. This side makes more sense. Obviously. Okay. Cool. And let's see. Up to there. Okay. the line a little bit. There we go. Okay. Here, dip it like so. Put a little bit in right here. Get it. All right. Go. Here, I think we came over the middle a little bit more than I wanted to. Middle of the line kind of situation. Yeah. Here. Bring that back down too. It's not super important that this is like a crisp line. This is a somewhat organic shape anyway. Oop. There we go. Cool. All right, so then let's get in here. That, like that. Very thin on that edge there. I think I want to end that there. Come on. All right. Drop this down a little bit more. Okie dokie. Put a little one right here. A little bit here. Fix that in a second there. Let's get in here. go. Just gonna keep kind of pushing stuff a little bit here. Move that over. That. Separate that. Bring this back. All right. Down to 10. Oops. Already on the thing. I don't know why I did that. Okie dokie. So we did that. Gonna bring this there. That. Cool. Here. Like that. There we go. All right. Oh yeah, slowly but surely we're making our way through. Shadows. Let's go ahead and throw a line right here. Go. Oop. That back. Yeah. Sure. Okay. Making some progress. Alright. Oops. That right there. Let's see. Let's bring this back. That maybe. Here, erase this bit. Do that. Here. Okay, let's that. Alright, so we're going through and we're just kind of shaping all the little bits here. got the big hair kind of done and set. Good. And over here, knocked out. That. Yes. Around there. Okay. Gonna throw in shadow right there. Right. We're just going through and setting up all the shadows slowly but surely, but nope. There we go. It's always fun when the computer doesn't want to listen. Okay. Honestly, I don't know what's back there that's making that noise when I try to do that. Okay. Let's do. All right. Clean this up a little bit. Ring right there. Cool. Okay. Oops. Alright, so we got that. Draw a small line right here. Back up here. Erase these little marks there. Cool. Alright, back down here. Set go. Get in here on the face. This fun stuff here. And line there. Line under nose. Dun, 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 dun. Makes sense. Right. Let's go. Not too bad. right. And let's put a little bit of shadow right there. I think that is kind of everything. Cool. All right, so now we mess with this. I tend to use multiply. Because then it'll show up on the darker colors too. If you don't, you go darken, it just does the colors. I mean, you could see it a little bit on the black, but not anywhere near. You do multiply. So, and that's a bit heavy, we're being real. I normally drop that to like 50, one of it. Yeah, that's better. So let's put it at like 50. Cool. Now, okay, duplicate this layer. Tell you what's on it. Change that back to normal and put in the highlight. Which I tend to do in like a very light yellow. Like so. Alright, so let's get in here. And this is kind of less is more as far as I go. Try not to do too many highlights. I'll put them on the hair and stuff like that. Try not to get too creepy. Because then you have to do that. And that's not so fun. Let's see. definitely need it. Here. I'll see how it looks, and then if I don't like it, I'll just ditch it. It right there. And that will probably fix. Much, but you know. All right. little line down here. If there's any spots that I don't care for, and like I said, I just fix it. Get rid of them. It feels like it's too much information, doesn't fit, whatever, I just get rid of it. Alright. I think that's pretty good. Guess we could throw a small bit. Oh no. Oops. And throw that right there. We can soften this too, because this would be wood. And it's not like it would be lacquered necessarily, so it wouldn't really be shiny. We'd have to kind of go back and soften this up. So let's change that to like screen. And oh, dodged it. Overlay. Overlay is not bad. Soft light is better. We'll go with soft light, and we'll drop it to 80. Look at that. Yeah. It is not too bad. I think I might soften up the wooden highlight. Back. No. Brush. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Okay. So I'm going to do the same kind of thing that I'm doing right now for the belts, as far as the highlight goes. And then after that, I'll probably go in and soften the shadow on the staff. that's not like that better. Alright, let's go here, grab that color. Oops. Down a little bit. Powering. Right, so I don't soften up too much. Yeah, imagine this being more of a natural kind of wood rather than, like I said, lacquered and shiny. So we're gonna just, that's why we're softening the edges of these shadows a bit. I dig that. Works out all right. Okay, here. Okay, so I'm guessing that's down here for some reason. No. Okay, yeah, that's this way. Oops. Better. All right. New layer in here. Actually, no. And put an actual highlight. Like that one. Back that one up too. Okay. Oops. Let's bump the size of the brush up. Better, I think. All right. His hair's a little weird, but maybe if I get rid of the highlight. Better. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Nope. I don't think so. All right. Well, that's kind of it for this one. Throw a quick kind of shadow behind everything and then sign it. And if anyone has any requests, I'd be happy to take any sketch requests. I'll have to take a second to kind of fix this. Not too crazy. I could have totally just, yeah. Okay, hold on. Let's put that there quick. Delete. Grab everything. Okay. Now, do this. Bump this way up. Do this. Oops. We can literally just have the whole thing set up exactly how it should be. Boom. Right up to that point right there. Oof. Alright, there's a little bit of clean up. But for the most part, not bad. Alright, so that's great. There and there we go. Like I know there's a way to do that. Just boom. Some of this little extra bit. Oh, I just missed some of that. That's there. Well, that's something too. Okay. All right, and then from here. Or rotate it a smidge, ends up going bit right there. Okay, put it like there. Looks like this part is kind of actually touching the ground. Be the idea. Then we can go ahead and throw the switch. Let's do one. Okay. Or make that multiply. That doesn't make it. Different. Drop that down to the 50. then here, pop it in there. Going to, but we're gonna shrink it in. Zoom in. Where am I gonna? Yeah, we're that. Shrink it down a smidge. Right here. Doesn't make any sense. Just drop the opacity down. Alright. And back to my pen. Sign it somewhere. Cool. I think that came out pretty great. All right. Yeah, if anyone has any requests for a sketch or anything, like requests. But yeah, I just kind of finished up. We're about to end the stream here in a little bit. And if anyone has any requests, feel free. Make a request. If you have any questions about what I've done or who the character is or anything like that, also happy to answer questions. Proud about that. I did a pretty good job. Good finish. Well, probably do some. Ooh, that's fun. I think I used, yeah, I used that for Scythe at some point. It's always fun to practice a little bit of real life. So just slightly like that. There we go. There. Got a little gap. Big tooth that comes. Like that. Front of it. Fix this going here. And this one. Due to it ridge. Have that ridge down at the bottom. It's fun to just kind of sketch random stuff sometimes. Kind of breaks out of more structured stuff that I normally do. This comes down. Oh yeah, we got a little bump the size of the brush up real quick. Fill in this. Yes, I'm doing it on the same layer because it's a sketch and I don't mind that. what I'm gonna do is erase out some highlight stuff. Yeah, right, that lip there. Down here. Pretty shiny fossilized bone here. Don't even know what creature this is from. But not a bad little jawbone sketch. Some kind of creature. Oh, direwolf, barely. From the tar pits. Which I'm playing the shiny, dark color. Alright. Back here. Ooh. Well, that will do it for today. Appreciate everyone hanging out and coming and seeing what's up and chatting with me and all that. Always a pleasure. Hopefully see you guys next time. I go live Saturdays 10 a.m. Pacific to about 12. So about a 2-hour stream. Most Saturdays, there are Saturdays where stuff comes up and I'm not going live, but I always try to go live when I can, and I hope you guys had a good time. You want to see the finished product from the stream, you can check out any of my social medias, at Zann20 on Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, Terra, even Tumblr. I post all of my progress and the final piece there on all of those. If you miss a stream and you want to see what you missed, you could check out my YouTube. All of the lives are archived there under the lives. That is also Zann20. And then if you want to see like time lapses of the last stream before I go live, I always post them on my TikTok and then Instagram and Twitter and stuff, but first place is TikTok, and that is Zann20_art for that one. Zann20 was taken. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Hopefully, I'll see you guys next time. Later.